Fast forward to that Friday, October 11th, I had my surgery. And it turns out that the cyst that was bigger than they thought, it was like grapefruit sized. Luckily, no cancer, so that's good. It was an endometrioma, meaning that I have endometriosis. The thing with that endometrioma means that my lesions just kept accumulating in the same spot. And that's why it ended up growing into a cyst, because they could remove the thing all at once. The adhesions were starting on the other ovary and in some other spots. So they cleaned it up and they got rid of them. Now I was left with this knowledge of a disease that doesn't have a cure, of an illness that doesn't have a cure. There's no way to tell whether or not something is working for endometriosis. It's progressive. The only things you can do are try to control it. So I got put on birth control pills, which I had never taken in my entire life, and I didn't want to. I never wanted to. Just because I'm not against them for what they do. I kind of like to do the more natural thing, and I'm not really like a fan of chemical hormones and that kind of thing. But here I was having to take it because we were going to try to stop my period, because that's kind of the only way to try to help control it. But even then, it's not guaranteed that it won't come back. I can't keep going back to the hospital every month to get a transfusion because I'm anemic now. I can't bleed the way I've been bleeding for the past, I don't know, like since 2013. That's just not compatible with a good life. Like, that's just not, you shouldn't have to do that. So I was like, okay, you know what? At this point, not having a period sounds awesome. So I started birth control on the first, and my birth control, I was told to take the 3 weeks of the hormones, skip the placebo, and go straight to hormones. So I'm not stopping the hormones for a week and then going back on them, just straight from hormone to hormone. So I do my 3 weeks of hormones, and guess what? My period starts, and I was like, what? But it was way lighter, didn't even compare to my period. And I was told that I could bleed for a while my body got used to it. People of YouTube who are watching me, I have been bleeding since October 16th of this year because my body needs to get used to it. I was waiting for my IUD to come in. That's another thing I never wanted to do, was get an IUD. But the Mirena IUD has been proven effective to help with endometriosis. Asterisk. Just because it's been proven effective doesn't mean it will work for everyone, because everyone's body is different. And this is one of the things that's crappy, among many other things, of endometriosis, is that what works really well for one person may not work for the next person. There are things that are proven to work, but again, just because it was proven to work on a lot of people doesn't mean that everyone will have the same results with it. So I literally just got it in on this past Thursday, and let me tell you that I was terrified, because everything I've read, heard, seen was absolutely horrific, and I was so scared. But luckily, it was not nearly, no, it was so easy. Like, I'm not saying it didn't hurt, it did, but it was not something that was unbearable. Friday, like the day after, was the worst, but even then it was still manageable. It sucked, and it was like, oh my god, and I had to like stop and breathe through it for a little bit, but it wasn't like something that like stopped me. The cramping is very minimal now. I will get random stabbing pains, but I was getting random stabbing pains before the IUD anyway. So hopefully, and yes, I am still bleeding. I was told I could bleed for 4 to 6 weeks after getting the IUD while it settles and my body finishes getting used to it. And I will have to say, today I broke down and cried because I started bleeding like enough that I needed to put not heavy, it's very light bleeding, but I needed to put a cup in, whereas before I was just getting spotting and I didn't need any protection, but now I need to put a cup in. And I started crying because I'm tired of it. I've been bleeding for 2 months, maybe 2.5 months at this point, and I'm so over it. But here's the thing, with endometriosis, there's literally nothing that you can do. Like, there's not really a check for it. Like, you just have to take it every day and hope that you're getting better. Do I feel better after removing the huge cyst that was inside of me? Yes. Yes, I do. Because it was pressing my organs. It was absolutely horrible. It just hurt. Like, towards the end, it just hurt. Things just hurt. With or without a period, they hurt. Do I have that anymore? No. It feels so much better. I will say that. However, I still get stabbing pains. My lower back hurts every single day, all day. There is nothing that I can do that makes it better. That is part of it. That is part of endometriosis, because that cyst was probably pressing on some nerves that I didn't know, or like pressing on a muscle for so long that, you know, your body has muscle memory. And I was reading up on this on a Facebook group that is informative. All the information on there is medical journal information. A lot of the like aftermath of endo is specifically lower back pain, and sciatica is one of the biggest complaints. And it's just one of those things where like you can't expect to be cured overnight, even though you got rid of it, physically got it taken out, the endometriosis taken out. There's still aftermath that you have to like work through, and it almost becomes this therapeutic thing that you have to do to yourself. Like, I'm waiting for a food sensitivity test to come in because that's a correlation with endo. I am reading more information on the back pain things. I might have to do physical therapy. I feel more validated now that I've read that people still get stabbing pains because their body got used to being in pain and now it's abating, but it might take a while. It might take even a couple of years. Or, I hope this doesn't happen, it might get worse. This IUD might not help me. It might, you know, like I've read a lot of things where like it helped for a while until it didn't. And I know it sounds silly, but like a lot of women have reported that like for 3 or 4 years they were great and pain-free, but then all of a sudden with the Mirena, but then all of a sudden they started getting horrible pain and they go back and they have endometriosis again. And it's like, you literally do not know when one thing will work, if it's getting better or if it's getting worse. Like, you just have to pay attention to yourself. So I'm like, and this is not just me, and this is anyone with endometriosis, and please comment on here your experiences with this, because I really am just trying to get more awareness out there, because it's so underdiagnosed and misdiagnosed, because healthcare providers a lot of the times don't believe women when they come in and they say the periods are really crap. They're like, oh, you just got the short end of the stick. You're going to have to deal with a bad period. And that's not how it works. Periods should not ruin your life. They should not do that to you. It's just kind of scary that you're sitting here trying to correct the issue. You just hope that it works. You hope that whatever you're doing that is one of the proven things is the right proven thing for you. And I guess that's just what I'm dealing with right now. I'm hoping that this is the right thing for me. What I went through sucked, so I'm sorry for anyone who is going through this and knows it, or going through this and doesn't know it, or whatever. Like, any version of this sucks, whether it's a lighter version or a really bad version. All of it sucks. The thing that sucks the worst is that you don't know if it's whatever you're doing is working. So I don't even know what I'm trying to say with this. I was just trying to, like, just, I guess, have relatable content on here for people who might be going through this. But, you know, like, it is kind of depressing because I have a horrible scar and I hate how it looks, but at the same time, I have to be happy that I was even able to get the surgery to get this out. So I'm so happy, and my doctor's amazing and I love her, but I have this ugly scar. Birth control pills that I never wanted to take. Now I have something in my uterus that's more hormone therapy that I didn't want to do, that has a bad rap, and hopefully it works. So far, so good. I will have to say so far, so good. I'm not knocking it yet because you have to give it time, and so far, so good, but it's only not even been a full week, so I can't say anything yet. But up until now, it's been very manageable, and hopefully it continues to be that manageable because I'm already tired of this, and I would like to be able to work out and not be like, oh my God, I need to stop because I can't anymore. And that's another thing, is that exhaustion and fatigue is another part of the aftermath, where like you go to do things that you normally do, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm tired, I need to stop. It's like, it's a lot. I think I just understand, you know, not that I didn't have any sympathy for it before, but realizing this whole time, you know, like whenever you see those things that are like, don't discount someone who says they have an illness when it's like an invisible illness. Like, oh, you look fine on the outside though. Why are you so tired? Why are you hurting? You don't look sick. I never not had sympathy for that because those things exist. And I had no idea that this whole time I was included in that because I did it to myself. I didn't look sick on the outside, but I was. And hopefully I'm not anymore. But we won't know until we know, if that even makes sense. Please, please go and get yourselves checked. It is a scary thing, and I think more people need to be aware of it before it gets too bad. I'm stubborn and I will push through things. I have to remind myself to take it slow, because I just want to be able to go back and be like, I'm fine. But I have to remind myself that I went through a lot prior to the surgery, and then the surgery itself was very intense. And even though like I'm fine on the outside, my insides are still recovering from this surgery. I mean, I've only been back on my feet for a month, literally a month today. I have to try to be kind to myself. And any of you out there with endometriosis or having done any surgery, you need to be kind to yourself. And I'm saying that knowing that I need to pay attention, more attention to that. Yeah. So I guess I will see you around, and I'm sorry this is kind of like a not happy video, or kind of like a more like not upbeat video, but I guess back to regularly scheduled videos. I will hopefully be posting some more dance videos soon. So anyway, I will update periodically with things that are happening with this. So thank you for taking the time to listen to me. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.